Hello. Welcome everyone to the next lecture of data analysis using Excel. I'm really excited as always because it's the third lecture where we're working with the same data analysis tool pack which we added long back. I'll be going with the same case study. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. In this lecture, by the end of this lecture, you will be covering how we can work around with covariance analysis. But when I say covariance analysis, one thing that I really want you to understand. We have regression, or let's say variance or standard deviation. Whenever in statistics we are actually going to look at the word co, just know we are going to talk about two or more variables together. So when I say covariance, what we are trying to understand here is how two or more variables are moving together. How is it different from correlation? Correlation is a better matrix because it is going to give you a standardized result from -1 to 1. It's going to give you both direction as well as the magnitude. Magnitude being the numeric value and the sign in front of the number using will give you the direction. In covariance, that's not going to be the case. You will only be able to see if both of them are moving together or not. It won't be a stagnant thing. For if we have, let's say, household which is a very smaller number, the magnitude will be very small. But of course, if we're going to have median house value, then the magnitude is going to be very high. So you're not able to compare with each other. You're not be able to create the same heat map as I showed you using conditional formatting in the last lecture. If you haven't seen the last lecture, I recommend each and everyone to actually go through that. That's the better way to actually understand how the data is entirely moving together and how things are actually related. Covariance is just another tool which is not as better as correlation, but sometimes we need to use covariance in some cases where we are asked to, where it is needed, where we do not need the sign of whatever how these codes are moving together. So that would be it. I will actually not bore you more with the entire theory part. Let's just directly dive into it. The first thing that we really want to open is our Word doc. In Word doc, you can see here, covariance measures the direction of the the linear relationship between two variables. It indicates whether two variables tend to increase or decrease together, but does not standardize the result as correlation does. So I've given the entire problem related with covariance analysis here. How are we going to do it, or how where our Excel tool will be, how we are going to run it, and what not is actually here. And interpretation is positive covariance. Both variables move in the same direction. Negative covariance, they move in opposite direction. Magnitude is, it depends on the unit of variables, right? So it's often harder for us to interpret directly as compared to correlation. What I'm trying to say here is, okay, forget what I'm trying to say, just see what I'm doing and you will be able to understand it if you have seen the last lecture. It's going to be a very small lecture, just like 5-6 minutes. I'm actually going to go all the way to the top, data analysis. Under data analysis, I'm actually going to use covariance. Now I'm going to delete whatever is written here. I'm actually going to select everything from this cell all the way to the bottom. And all of this information is in columns, then labels in first row, output range. Okay, K is fine for me. Although I would like to actually have L here, L5. I'm going to click on OK. There is an entire analysis in front of me, and now you can see what I meant. Some of them are at like -2.84 and some of them are at like 158, 211,000, right? And sometimes we do not even have the same decimal points related to all of that. So this is one thing that you really want to focus on when you're working with covariance analysis. You are able to understand how they're moving together or how good they are. If they're positive, then they're moving together. If they're negative, then they're not moving together. But still, correlation is going to give you a very broader understanding of almost everything, right? It is going to give you the magnitude as well as a very standardized result that you can compare each and every variable with each other, right? We do not have any standardized here, so we need to sometimes see, okay, if we have a longitude and total bedrooms are moving at 58.77 points, what does this mean? Is it longitude moving, or is it total bedrooms moving, or both are moving together in this particular sign? The answer is both are moving in 58.77 units, but the way they are moving is very confusing for me because I have to see what is the range for longitude, and then I have to see what's the range for total bedrooms as well. I cannot really just go ahead and just do it very normally. I actually have to work around and understand how these results can be interpreted. Again, if I'm going to actually, I'll show you instead of actually just giving you a just. You can see, although this number is it's like extremely high because median household is moving with median household was such a big amount, uh, is going to impact the entire heat map. So sadly, we cannot use a heat map. I'm just teaching you because sometimes we are asked to use this entire thing and not anything else like correlation. You need to know how to work with this, but always I prefer to use correlation metrics. That would be it for this entire lecture. I am not going to bore you more. This is all that you have to know and understand. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. I will love to help all of you. Thank you for joining.